Hello everyone, as you can probably see from the title of this video, I am running a brand new deck with a brand new theme song to go to boot. Now what this deck does, I call it LockDown. It doesn't necessarily lock down my opponent like the name might suggest. It actually, they can play all of their cards, but it sets up locks on my own side of the field, most of the time anyways. It can lock them a tiny bit, but most of the time its main strategy is going for combos on my side of the field that my opponent can't break through. Even though they can play their own cards, they the cards that they have won't actually do anything. And it's also, part of that is being very slippery, using cards like using Thunderbird. Even if my opponent uses something really good, they won't really be able to get over it, and it wouldn't do them any good to try. And you all will see the rest of what it does. It does have quite a few numbers of strategies. It is meant to be kind of a jack of all trades deck instead of just being some sort of a lock deck. Like, I attribute this to being very similar to Evil Sworn using Ophion and a ninja deck. I'm not going to MST those. There's much more important cards that I'd be worried about. Okay, I guess I could have MST'd. It does try to stun a little bit, but not too drastically. Let's see. Ghostricks don't like the special summon, so no, even when they do special summon, they're usually darks. Okay, I'm not gonna do anything yet. I'm gonna end up setting Gravekeeper Spy. It's usually a good idea to set that before you draw into any of the other ones. So let's see what I attack into. If my opponent uses some sort of a hand trap, because it's Ghostricks, and that's definitely the highlight of what Ghostricks do, is that they have hand traps just up the wazoo. So let's see if they activate anything. One of the reasons I chose not to MST, even if there was double back row, is because, okay, so they're going to use this thing's effect, and all I'm going to do is bounce this and banish it, and nothing will happen to it. Unless they have another card, which I would actually be kind of okay with, because one, I have another, and two, even if they were to do something that would get rid of it, I just went one monster for 2 back row, and I'm okay with doing that. I'm not going to set the other MST. I kind of want them to draw into one of their own MSTs and try to target my own, and then I can chain it and hit their other back row. Although I guess I could set this one too, but I'm just going to save it and not overextend. Let's see, yeah, that's right, Jiangshi, it's one that adds a card to their hand. I could Fiendish Chain this, but I'm going to not. Honestly, their hand traps are nice and all, and they do have some cool things that they do, but they're more or less just stall cards. They were debating if they wanted to attack, I guess just to see what the heck my monster was. A lot of people do that on the first turn. It's like you have so many life points to spare, and you want to see what your opponent is running, that you just kind of go balls to the wall really quickly and then see what the heck happens. Now, okay, I'm not going to MST this. Whatever it is, it's probably chainable. Otherwise, they would have activated it to get rid of my Thunderbird most likely. So I'm not going to MST that. I'm gonna hope that it's some sort of a bluff. And yeah, I'll just try to attack through the hand traps and stuff and get that all out of the way. Although they will be able to add another one, sadly. And let's go ahead and show off the extra deck. Most of the monsters in this deck are all level 4s, and they're all darks. So there's a wide variety of things I can make. Key Beetle being the most important. That's why I'm running 3, and I haven't actually ever summoned Ophion yet. It's just in there because I have triple Thunderbird. Like, if I wanted to, I could summon this and then overlay for it, but I haven't had to yet. Let's see. In this situation, I can go a safe route and summon the Jin. No, that's actually probably not an amazing idea. You know, I'm not even going to do anything. I'm just going to attack with the Spy. None of my XYZs are very good right now, because the only reason I would summon it would be for extra attack power. That thing has 1800 defense. What am I doing? I should have attacked with Thunderbird first. Whoops. Showing that I'm not very familiar with Ghostricks. I know what most of their effects do. Otherwise, I'm not familiar with, I guess, the attack and defense and stuff. Whoops on my part. But that's okay. I'll still be able to use Thunderbird to get over it. It's not like they were going to drop a monster on a 1200 direct anyways. So it would have been the same thing. They just would be minus 1200 right now, which is a big deal. And this deck is, it's by far more fast-paced than a Jar. Honestly, I was getting kind of sick of running that because it is so slow. Sometimes that's nice, but other times it's kind of eh. And I guess I should have put this into attack. I was right that this wasn't going to be anything. So, I guess I'll just leave it at that. See, did I use my normal summon? No, I didn't use my normal summon. But everything at this point would be overextending. And I'm actually kind of debating if I want to make Key Beetle right now. See, Ghostricks don't have a whole lot of removal power, so I'm going to go ahead and do that because Vanity actually, it might end up being a little bit of a thorn in their side. So I'm going to make Key Beetle. I'm going to target Vanity's Emptiness. Oh, really? Okay, so they're basically going to use their Treacherous Trap Hole right now and go 1 for 1. Because I made this for free with a Spy. And then this will just bounce away. So, 1 for 1. Oh, never mind. I'm okay with that. I would rather they lose this right now just to destroy that. I have another, so... Hey, look. Aw, isn't that disappointing? Wasting their Treacherous Trap Hole on... As good as Key Beetle is, I didn't have a safe zone to lock with it. That is part of the lock. It also uses White Dragon Ninja. And I'm going to banish this right now. I don't want them to be able to run over it or make something sneaky. Because I don't really... Oh, I have a Fiendish Chain, but I don't want to use that just yet. And also, when I activate Vanity's Emptiness, it's going to be able to stop them from special summoning hand traps. They won't even be able to use that. And since they're using Treeborn Frog, I have a good idea that they're not using the field. This is definitely going to be a Monarch build then. So it will be best that I save the Fiendish Chain and the MST so that when they play, there's a spell that, if anyone's unfamiliar, when you tribute with a Monarch, you get to search out another Monarch. And if I can stop them from special summoning, it's going to really hurt their ability to summon big monsters, tribute summon for the Monarchs. Oh, and look at that. I actually got the safe zone, so I'm going to go for the lock. They wasted their Veiler, even though they by far should not have. So first, I'm going to attack over the Lantern and see if this works. There goes one tribute. Okay, there's one hand trap. Then I should probably get rid of Jiangshi. Yeah, let's get rid of that so they can't keep searching. They'll get one more search off of this, but that's not really a big deal. Yep, okay, go ahead and search. Now the question is though... Oh, okay, another Spectre. So drawing into cards. I'm sure they're trying to draw into their Monarchs. Okay, now this is the perfect time that I'm going to make a Key Beetle. And because the best Monarch in my opinion is Caius, which is everyone's favorite, I'm not going to give them the chance to summon it. Since even if I activate Safe Zone... Oh, do they have another Veiler? Oh, that would kind of suck, but I'm going to have to... Yeah, if they have another Veiler, I guess I'll be fine, but... It also could be a Maxi. Probably a Veiler, that's going to be my guess. Veiler being so annoying. I am going to use the effect. I need to... I want to get rid of it right now. And I'm going to be using Safe Zone ASAP. I'm not going to wait for a Caius, since... when Caius hits, it'll target it, and then I get to chain Safe Zone, but at that point, it'll be too late, because it was already targeted. Safe Zone can't stop the effect from going through since it vanishes, it doesn't destroy. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Luckily, I didn't get Veilered, so this combo is Oh, you know what? They could still Kai us over the safe zone. There are a number of ways to stop this deck from working. That's why I have other cards in here that they don't need to be... I don't need to lock in order to win. There's a number of other things I can do to win. There's beatdown. There is stun. There's a number of things I can do. Okay, this means my opponent is about... Let's see, they're about to go for an XYZ, so I'm gonna Vanity's Emptiness right now. Hopefully nothing goes to my grave. This will stop them dead in their tracks. I think they can flip these face down though, yeah. So I won't be able to use these as damage outlets, but I'll stop them from going into an XYZ. Obviously not gonna be MS-teen just yet. The full lock is I use Master Key Beetle on Safe Zone and Vanity's Emptiness. Again, this is more of a standard lock that other people use, but I'm using it in conjunction with other things that make it interesting, such as White Dragon Ninja, which you use Hanzo to get out. So either I can Safe Zone Key Beetle, or I can Safe Zone onto White Dragon Ninja, and you have a nearly impenetrable lock. Okay, they had the Caius, so I'm definitely going to be using Fiendish Chain, and good for them, they knew exactly what to target. And this is one Caius down, 2 to go. I can also attack over, which is really cool. But next turn, I will hopefully be able to get the full lockdown because I can use the final effect, target Vanity's Emptiness, then this can't be destroyed or targeted, and neither can Vanity's Emptiness, or at least it can't be destroyed. Naturally not going to MST. The moment that it goes to the grave, this will be destroyed. Okay, now moment of truth. I'm curious if my opponent is using a Veiler or a Max C. I thought it was going to be a Veiler, just because that's the worst case scenario, but it's starting to look like it's a Max C since they didn't use it. Okay, that is definitely going to be the case. It was... Yeah, it was definitely just Max C. And I'm going to get over this because it poses much more of a threat than a Ghostrick Spectre does. And right now I have the full lock, but at the same time I'm actually playing against a deck right now that it can break the lock relatively easily. As you saw, just summoning a Caius, banishing Safe Zone, that instantly would remove the lock. There's a couple other ways to get over that I'll go over some other time, not right now, but there are a number of ways. And it looks like I have my opponent on the rope. They can't special summon. This is nothing. I'm not going to use an MST on it. Oh, okay, drawing another Vanity's Emptiness. I guess at this point, since I have the lockout, it doesn't matter that I'm getting some really weird draws. And I'm going to go for the card that I don't know what it is. This is no threat to me, so I'm just going to get over whatever might be more dangerous. Okay, and it's a Jiangshi. I'm kind of curious how many hand traps they have left. I think, have they gone through triple Spectre yet? 2 or 3? 1. Okay, so there's going to be 1 Spectre. Okay, they're down to 1 Spectre and 1 Lantern. And as long as I have an Emptiness on the field, they can't use any of these because they need to be special summoned from the hand, much like Gores and Battle Fader. And if they can't special summon, they can't stop attacks. They can't be used at all. And they drew into the other Caius, which is disappointing. But at the same time, they still can't get over it, and they... Oh, that's right, it would destroy it. Yeah, I'm gonna send Vanities to the grave. I have others, so that's okay. But they still can't get over it, so even though the lock is broken, that probably did hurt them significantly. Then, since Safe Zone is gone, I will need to MST this in case it is something. Since my opponent is using Treeborn Frog, that tells me that they probably don't have a ton of back row, and if they do, it's going to be a spell card. So this might be a enemy controller or Book of Moon. I am kind of curious what it is. It might also be a bluff. But let's find out. Oh, it's a Soul Exchange. Okay, yeah, that was actually pretty nice to hit. And part of the way that the deck is consistent is, of course, a Pot of Duality. Honestly, what deck doesn't use that, right? Okay, very nice. Drawing into evac wouldn't be very helpful, but I'm going to be able to get Hanzo out now. Meaning, geez, I'm not sure if I should save it or not. I could use it right now and use the Monarch. No, you know what? I'm definitely gonna save it for the next Monarch that hits the field, especially if it's a Caius. That way, if they target Hanzo or they target something threatening, then all I have to do is... do I want to set another one? Yeah, I'm gonna set the other one just in case. All I have to do is I chain the trap card that Hanzo gives me, and then I get out the monster like nothing happened. Draw phase. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and use Vanity right now so they can't get out the Treeborn Frog. They have no hand traps right now, and since this is a Monarch build, this puts them in a very bad position that they were in before. They've already gone through double Caius. They have no monsters on the field to tribute over. And since they can't get out their Treeborn Frog, yeah, all the person is going to be able to do is continuously set a bunch of random monsters, and they will run out eventually. Okay, obviously not going to be using Duality. I want to keep this on the field. And because I have Vanity still, I'm not going to summon Hanzo. Worst case scenario for that, if I did summon it, I wouldn't be able to use the trap card, and they would get over it prematurely. Setting another Treeborn Frog. Okay, not even a bad move, but that does tend to mean probably not in the greatest position because of this, like I mentioned. I haven't seen an MST yet though, so I'm still waiting for that. Potentially, okay, Dark Hole, that's disappointing. I will lose my Key Beetle and I'll lose the Emptiness. But I do have another Emptiness down already since I drew into all three. I can also use the MST now and Duality and go into a Grandmaster Hanzo, so that's interesting. Okay, they didn't set any spells or traps, so I'm not going to do anything. Alright, gonna go into the second Duality, see if I can get something decent. Maybe I can get another safe zone. That would give me the lock right back. Perfect. Okay, gonna take the safe zone. Double Hanzo. This draw system makes me laugh sometimes. How many Jiangshis have they gone through? I might actually be able to just summon Barrier Statue and attack over it. Jiangshi 1, 2... Okay, probably sitting on the other one then. Now, this is going to be kind of tricky. A couple of these cards can contradict each other if they're not careful because... Yeah, this is going to be weird. Another Caius would actually re-break the combo, so that's going to kind of suck if that's what happens. But they'll finally be able to use their hand traps now. Oh, actually using a Frog Engine. Interesting. And... Jeez, I'm not even... No, I definitely want to do that. So I'm going to set both of these. Let's see. The problem right now, I'm not going to... Even if they get out a Treeborn Frog, I'm not going to do anything about it because they already have a monster to tribute, and that's all they're going to need. Even just one monster, that's all they need. So stopping a Treeborn Frog wouldn't make any sense right now, so I'm not going to use Vanities. Okay, Swap Frog. Even if they... Let's see, if a Gotchi hits the field, would I care? Yeah, they can go ahead and send to the grave, that's fine. I'm actually kind of surprised this duel is taking so long. Usually this deck is very cut and dry, either... Well, okay, it can go on for an average amount of time, like 10-minute duel isn't that uncommon, but 10-minute duel also isn't that long. Also, it gets a whole lot of rage quits, which that's fine by me. It's an easy win. If my opponent knows that their deck isn't going to be able to win, then hey, that's fine if they want to quit. That saves us both a lot of time. Okay. What I can also do right now is I can make the third Key Beetle. Or was that the first one? Oh no, I only made one, right? Oh no, I made two. That's right. They got rid of the first. Okay. I can make the same exact lock as I did before. I think that would actually be the... that might be the better idea. Let's see. I've gone through double Caius. Yeah, why not? I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to make the next Key Beetle. This will allow me to get out the full lock yet again. Okay, now if they have a Max C, this would be the time to use it. Nope, not going to do it. And I haven't drawn into many ninjas yet, so I'm still going to be able to get out my White Dragon Ninja. And, Barrier Statue. This is such an underrated set of cards. They're kind of like lesser versions of Fossil Dynamo? Or Dynamo, I forget what it's called exactly. But no one has ever used them since their release, and that's kind of interesting. So first I'm going to use the effect on Safe Zone. And instantly I'll be using it next turn, just like I did before, because if they draw into a Caius or Ryza, they can target the monster, and I don't want them to do that. Sadly, since they have a Gotchi out, I won't be able to... They'll be able to keep their monster presence up, and I won't be able to instantly just get over it. And I have all the cards I need face down right now, including a usable MST, so I do not mind at all filling up all of my back row. So you're going to go ahead and use Safe Zone on Key Beetle. This completes the lock again. This is actually a really interesting matchup because I actually have a huge disadvantage. Monarchs are one of the few decks that can actually break this lock continuously. Other decks, they have a few ways to break it, but it's hardly consistent. And if I can make it more than once, they usually fail just outright. Whereas this deck, obviously, it doesn't. And cool, I will be able to use Vanity again. And, okay, sadly, if I had drawn this a turn before, it would be strong enough to get over Gotchi, but it's not, so I can't get over it this turn like I would like to. So, of course, going to use its effect again, and choose Vanity. And then I'm also going to activate Thunderbird's effect. Like I said, this can't get over it either way. Even when it's at 1800, it needs its effect to be stronger. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then activate Emptiness. This makes it so no matter what, my opponent can't use hand traps again. I am waiting for them to draw into that Rise, though. That's going to kind of stink. But like I said in the beginning of this video, I don't actually need the lock to win. It is the #1 win condition, but there's others too. As you saw, I have cards like Fiendish Chain and Mirror Force, so if I want to do a beatdown strategy, I can. If I want to use other XYZs, I can. If I want to use a bunch of monsters that they're really hard to get over and they just keep attacking directly until they win, I can. One of the other monsters that's... Oh, okay, they drew the Ryza. There it is. And this will be interesting to see what they go for. But one of the other monsters that's kind of slippery is... When I used Reinforcement of the Army, you could see that. It was... The heck, I already forgot its name. It's the other ninja card. I'm not even going to use Thunderbird's effect. It's the other ninja card that... Is it Dark Strike Fighter? Something like that. It's... Summon target... I'm not sure if I want to keep this out, but it'll be destroyed anyways. So, yeah, I'm going to send this to the grave. Anyways, it's a level 4 ninja that you can banish. It's a really old card. You can banish 2 darks from your grave to banish it until the end phase. So it's kind of like Thunderbird, except it has a bigger cost. And when you have 2 monsters like that out, what are you going to do? Dark Hole doesn't do anything. Monster effects don't really do anything. In order to get rid of one of them, you need to use multiple spells and traps at once, which that's a really bad idea on an expendable level 4 using double back row like that. Huh. Kind of curious why my opponent didn't attack. That was... Okay, that was weird. I can actually get out another lock. That's pretty funny. Because all I have to do is go into the White Dragon Ninja as soon as I draw another ninja monster. And then activate Safe Zone on it, and I'll have another lockout for the 3rd time. It won't have Vanity this time, but that's not such a big deal. And my opponent has gone through a significant amount of Monarchs. So as you can see, even though this is kind of a lockdown deck, especially because I'm calling it lockdown, even though they keep breaking the lockdown, I still have a pretty significant field advantage. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and card count is still about even. Ah, darn it. So they have a Gores, but all that's going to be is a 1950 token. And, debating if I should set the safe zone, but I'm going to go ahead and wait. If they summon another Monarch, it wouldn't have helped me anyways. And even if, yeah, it wouldn't help anyways. They would just target it, destroy the monster in the process, and yeah, that wouldn't be worth it. So next turn, I'm gonna Mirror Force right now and just get rid of Gores. This is gonna be the strongest monster that they're running most likely. Probably gonna try to, oh really, gonna attack over Key Beetle, okay. Let's go ahead and Mirror Force now, even if they have a Lance, which that actually wouldn't be that surprising. It wouldn't help because this would have, it wouldn't have enough attack to get over Key Beetle anymore, and it would just die anyways. So wasn't much they could have done, even potentially with imaginary cards that I think they might be running. And again, they're in a pretty sticky position. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go for... Wait, did I use... Oh, I used all 3 Key Beetles, that's right. Okay, so we're not gonna do that again. And I don't have any spies left in deck until I draw into a pot of Duplicity to put a spy back. But... Oh, you know, I can go into Daigusto Emerald and draw a card. Probably not going to do that, though. I just want to tack on some more damage, so I'm going to go ahead and spy. Actually, did my opponent already use Dark Hole? Yeah, they already did. I was going to say, why am I summoning spy if they didn't use Dark Hole? That's overextending. Okay, so my opponent used Dark Hole. This, I don't think they're going to be able to wipe my field again, so this hopefully isn't overextending. Really, going to use Max C now. I guess that was a decent move, but unbeknownst to them, I wasn't planning on going for an XYZ this turn, so okay. Thunderbird right now is being much more valuable to me because even if they summon a Monarch to try to use its effect over, I can just bounce it away. And it's asking them to change. It's asking them to use something from the hand. Maybe they have another Max C. No, you can only use 1 per turn. Oh, I was just going for the Lantern, right? Okay. Now, if I had another way to make the lock with the cards I have in the field, I very well might, but I'm not going to. I'm going to wait for the Ninja. This is the first time in a... I was going to say in a very long time. This might be the first time ever that I've gone this long with only drawing a... Is this the first Ninja I got? Yeah, I haven't drawn any Ninjas yet. I'm only running 6 if you count the reinforcement of the army, but combined with triple duality and duplicity, I'm running a... 1 more draw card. Combined with all that, it's pretty rare that I only get 1 Ninja by this point. So I'm bound to draw into one of the other 5 anytime now. No, other 4, yeah. Yeah, if I use Reinforcement of the Army first, that's like 2 Ninjas going away. Okay, so I have 4 left in deck. Summoning an Effect Veiler. This must mean that they're going to go for... Oh, okay. I thought they were going to sync for something. That's right, they can go for the rank 1 XYZ. Which... Oh, no, they actually are going to sync. This is a very good sign for me. It means they're kind of desperate. If you're having to Formula Synchro just to draw 1 card, that's really bad. Did I say Formula Synchro? I meant Synchron. I didn't finish that word there. I don't even count this as a card right now. It's basically like 4 to 6 and 7 on my turn. At least this isn't minus, though. You're going 2 for 1, but then you're drawing a card, so it's really just 2 for 2. So at least they didn't go minus. Not a horrible play on their part. And they're definitely waiting for another Monarch. Okay, one of these has to be something if they just set 2. And because it took them so long to set the other one, I'm guessing that the first one that they set was the whatever card they're trying to protect. Yeah, like right now they were thinking. So I'm gonna see if I'm correct about that or if they were just going slow on accident. MSTing and hitting a Scapegoat. Good chance that that was the card that they were trying to protect. Let's see, 37. I can't go for game this turn, but at the same time, I'm gonna risk that this is a mirror force or something. They probably have a hand trap left, and I want to be able to attack over it if that's the case. I would guess that Scapegoat was the card that they were trying to protect because it would stop me from doing significant damage this turn, because it is going to be a lot. It's going to be 3,700 if all of it goes through. And yeah, if this were something good, they would have activated it already. So, gonna guess that this isn't anything. It could be saying, oh yeah, it was just an enemy controller. That's fine. What are they going to target? That's actually a pretty good move, so I won't be able to do damage this turn. Obviously not going to attack. And this allows me to put Spy into defense. Not really much of a reason to do that, but why not? And I'm going to set both of these because I don't need Safe Zone at the moment, but I do need a Fiendish Chain. So even if they summon a Monarch or something, I can still get over it. And hopefully I can start pushing for game soon, because... Let's see, they should be using their... Yeah, Swap Frog, okay. They have, like, nothing left, though, so... Yeah, I want to push for game right now. Go ahead, summon a Monarch. I'm guessing that's going to be the move. Let's see, Ryza over that. I'm going to say no and Fiendish Chain it. Proving it once again that even the cards that give this deck a really hard time, it's not the end of the world. And okay, here we go. Now I can actually... Ooh, I think I can push for game now. Okay, let's see, I am going to White Dragon Ninja. I'm pretty sure the hand traps need me to destroy a monster on their side of the field, at least one of them, assuming that they have any left at all. But this will clear the field and let me do even more damage, so by far the best move. And they've already used Gores, so I'm going to go ahead and attack with Key Beetle and then Dragon Ninja and go for game ASAP instead of using the weaker ones first. But they still have something to chain. Oh, it is a Lantern. Okay. That's fine, though. I can attack over it with Spy, and unless this is a Spectre... Okay, this should be game. Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be game. Wow, that was definitely a great way to start out showcasing this deck. That was a really good game. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please comment, rate, subscribe, and stay brutal.